Hello, everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening. You're welcome to this live broadcast. Today's day 2, and this is the final session for the Global Brand Summit 2022. Thank you for joining us from the beginning. Thank you for doing this with us. If you are online, please let me see your favorite emoji. Let me see your favorite emoji if you're online. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Good evening. I hope your weekend is going well. And do let me know where you're watching from. I am streaming live from the beautiful city of Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire. So let me know where you are watching from. Let's go, let's go, let's go. More for blessing, Tonia Vincent. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Please, let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming. You're all welcome. Thank you for joining us once again. My name is Omobabiri Adeola Oshideko, and I will be your moderator for this session. We already have our guests in at the back of the stage, and I'm going to be bringing him on board shortly. But before I bring him on board, I would like you to know who he is, what he does, and everything about him in a video. So don't go away. Stay with us as I bring on board the profile of our speaker for this session.
Let's meet our speaker, Mr. Eze Chukwudi. Eze is a brand and marketing communications expert with 7+ years of industry experience that cut across management consulting, financial technology, and agency banking. He is the creative director for Styfidence NG, a style and image consultancy firm based in Lagos with core competency in personal branding and reputation management. Eze is a certified PR practitioner by the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations (NIPR), certified manager by the Nigerian Institute of Management Chartered, and a trained broadcast journalist by the National Broadcast Academy (NBA). Eze is currently the brand and marketing manager for Posi Limited, a leading engineering firm with core competencies in the oil and gas sector. Let's welcome Mr. Eze Chukwudi.
Hello, Eze. Good evening.
Hello. A very good evening to everybody.
How are you doing today?
Very well. Glad to be here.
Good to have you on board.
Thank
good
you
to
so
finally speak with you. We've been seeing on LinkedIn for a while, seeing your content, the great work you're doing, and it's really nice to have you give us the value in person. So let's welcome our guests. Put the fire emoji, put the clapping emoji in the comments as I leave the stage for Mr. Eze Chukwudi, who is going to be speaking to us on how to build influence and visibility online for profit. You can.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Eze. Just a second. I want to believe that everybody can hear me. My name is Eze Chukwudi. I do brand and marketing communications. I'm a personal branding expert. So when I was reached out to by Adiola, it felt really exciting, to be speaking about something that has worked for me, and then to be able to share with so many more people. So today, what I'll be speaking about is how to build influence and influence. Okay, how to build influence and visibility for online profits. So I said something. You can't build influence or visibility online without having a reputation. It is the foundation. So it's imagine if I come to you right now and say, Izzy, um, I want you to buy into my product, but I don't know that product before. You say, okay, I'm probably in the market. I want to buy, let's say, the popular detergent, Ariel, and you come to me, oh, we have a product that is better than Ariel. And then I ask you, how long have you been around for? You say, oh, we're just starting out today. How many customer reviews do you have? And you say, no, we don't have any yet. You're the first person who is going to try. And the person says, oh, I'm really sorry. I've known this brand for some time, and I would not trade what I want to buy right now for something that I don't know. Maybe some other time I would like to try, maybe if there are more reviews. So it's important that if you don't have a reputation, it's impossible to grow, to build influence, or even grow visibility online. So the first question I want to ask you is, what I said is, what is your reputation online? Do you have a reputation online? Is it good? Is it bad? Or you don't even have at all? You're one of those people who you just open social media platforms just to monitor people, who we call the monitoring spirit. I want to believe that we don't have monitoring spirits on this session. So it's important that you understand. So you need to ask yourself, do I have a reputation online? Is it good or bad? Or do I not even have at all? One of those who just have social media pages. Oh, I'm on social media, but I don't have I don't have any presence. I don't engage with people. I know there are lots of my friends like that. They've probably been on LinkedIn for like 5 years, been on Facebook for a longer period or two, but if not, they can't say online has been beneficial to them. The only thing they do is read gossip, follow up on things like that, which is not supposed to be. So the next thing you want to ask yourself again, which is, I wish I could share my presentation, but I'm just going to be reading through. So questions you need to answer to build influence and grow visibility online for profit. Those who are succeeding online did not get there with just luck. They were strategic about what they wanted to achieve online. I can tell you today, right now, I think we're in the Gen Z generation on LinkedIn, and a young man started that wave, which is Emmanuel Unduka, if I'm not mistaken. Amazing young lad. I remember when he started out and how he has built a reputation for himself, and then help more younger ones build reputations for themselves. So there are now so many people who has leveraged what he has been able to do for himself, consistent posting, speaking about what he loves, and then today we are all celebrating him. Is one young man that I really admire a lot. So now you need to ask yourself questions. I said questions you need to answer to build influence and grow visibility for online profit. Do I want to be influential? Can I maintain influence? Can I maintain my influence? Will I be consistent? So these are the questions, three pertinent questions you need to ask yourself. And one of the things about those who grow influence online, there are people who do it just for doing things so that they just make money. And then there are those who do it for, they actually care about influencing life properly, creating value that influences life. So I want to believe that we're all following. So questions that you need to answer to build influence and grow visibility. So I said, do I want to be influential? Two, can I maintain my influence? Three, will I be consistent? So you need to understand that influence is such a big thing. I know a lot of people who are creators who are dealing with mental block. Sometimes they go through a lot because once you get to a particular level of influence and then you're not posting consistently again, you're unable to maintain that, it affects you mentally. So it's important that you need to know. So it is the reason for the what got you to that position of influence is what will sustain you. Are you doing it for passion? Are you doing it because this is what you love? Are you doing it because you want to change lives? So if it's somebody who just wants to make money, at one point in time, if the content are not, you lose it at some point. We know a lot of influencers. It has happened to me also that at one point in time I got good influence. I had a lot to do, went back. So it's important that you're passionate about why you want to be influential. Do I want to? I want to be influential so that my voice, my message can get to people who it should get to. So, do I want to be influential? And ask yourself that question: is it a yes or is it no? Or do I just want to be posting, which is the average person, which is okay? Can I maintain my influence? Will I be consistent? So, these are three questions you need to answer. I want to believe that we're following me. I want to believe that you're getting something from here. So, the next point is how to build influence for online visibility and profits. Um, define what you want to achieve online. So the first step that you need to do is you need to define what do I want to achieve online. So at the beginning of this year, I said to myself, I want I want to position myself as a personal brand expert. And this is the fourth month. I think this is like, yeah, we're in Q. This is like Q1 thereabout, and I have gotten I have been contacted by top I mean top companies to speak on this subject because I defined that this is what I wanted to be known, and I was considered. I've been consistent about that. So it's important that you define what you want to achieve online. Do I just want to be? I just want to be online monitoring people, monitoring spirits, but I don't want to believe that we have monitoring spirits here. No more monitoring spirits this year. So the second thing you need to do is once you've identified what you want to achieve online, what you want to be known for online, which is the first step to building influence. The second one is become good at it. It's important. So once you've identified, so personal branding, I've been doing personal branding, I've been styling people, helping my colleagues, all the organizations, most of the organizations that I've worked, I've been able to influence how people dress, and I learn every day. I'm looking for something. Okay, how best can we look? How does our image influence our life? How does it influence our thinking? So it's important that you get better at what you now that you've defined. I've defined personal branding for myself. This is my goal. This is what I want to achieve. And by the grace of God, I've been able to get like major speaking engagements. I still have one on the TV station within the week. So it's important that you define that. Once you have that defined, identify how you can become better at it. I mean, be good at it. So get training, certifications in that area. That's the second one. Identify what you want to the goal that you want to achieve online. Sorry, please. Thank you. Um, become good. Become good at it. Whatever it is that you want to be known for online. Become good at it that people would say. I have colleagues who for the past 5 years will say Eze has been the standard of our addressing within our organization, and this is something that I've maintained. So if you want to define, you need to define what you want for yourself. So let's not think that online goals are a bit different from like the offline, because if there's a mismatch between your reputation online and offline, it would contradict, because people who are offline that know you, when they come online, they would speak about what you're not really representing. And so that does not make sense. So define what you want to achieve online. That's one. Two, become good at it. I mean, keep getting better with certifications and training. Three, identify your channel of influence or channels, or identify your channel of influence or channels. So, do I just want to have a LinkedIn account, or I want to be present on all platforms? So, but a lot of people, researchers would advise, what study has shown is a lot of people would advise that you pick about one or two platforms. I am more active on LinkedIn and Instagram. So it's important that you identify the channel that you want to build your influence on. You can't be everywhere at the same time. It's almost impossible. There's an influencer that I know. I used to follow her from LinkedIn, from Twitter, I mean. But I now realized that her posts are automatically shared by, I think, like the bots or tweet deck, where you're able to, those things that help you, um, social media automation platforms like Hootsuite, that helps you share your content across all the different channels that you're on. But most times when people engage her post on LinkedIn, she does not engage back. And how to build influence, you need to engage people, build a community around what you're speaking about or what you are driving at. So it's important that you know that. So do you want to have just a channel or different channels? So I'm on all the social media platforms that I know of that are popular, but my two channel of influence is LinkedIn and Instagram. So it's important that you define your channel of influence, where you want to build your influence. So we said define what you want to achieve online. Two, become good at it and keep getting better with training and certifications, because you're preparing yourself for what is ahead. Identify the channel or channels of influence. I've said it that it is important that you pick about two channels of influence online that you want to spread your message and become influential at. So that's important, because if you're everywhere, you really cannot keep up. When you're It's hard to keep up with. So imagine getting LinkedIn notifications on a good, if your post is doing really, if your post goes viral a lot, it's almost impossible for you not to. You'd have thousands of messages. Just imagine you now have to be on Snapchat, on this. It's almost impossible. You now need a manager at one point in time to relate with that. So, but for a start, it's important that you have about two channels of influence. Emmanuel Unduka, amazing guy. Denu Bon, most of their influence is on LinkedIn. And that's their strength. It has done well for them, gotten them national recognitions and all. So it's important that you know, if you're everywhere, you might lose your source or your essence of value. So don't try to be everywhere at the same time. Like the Yorubas would say, "Eyije, Eyoje" means you want to this one. You're playing a game of probability. If I don't make it here, I'll probably make it there. And when you do something like that, you might not really get that influence that you're gunning for. So please stick to one or two channel if possible, if you're about to grow your influence. So the next thing is start communicating your expertise and value online. So it's important that when people always want people to build a reputation, because reputation is about, to be able to build influence, you need to build a reputation for yourself first of all. Influence does not happen immediately. You need to build a reputation over time, that you're now able to leverage that reputation to influence people. So it is your reputation that you use to, reputation is the foundation of any great thing that you can do. So it is your reputation that you've built over time that you now leverage to influence people, and also to also grow your visibility. So it's important that you know that you need to build a reputation before you can achieve influence or visibility online. I know of a friend, and the world. You need to understand that the world we live in right now. you need to network and engage people. I want to thank Adiola Omabirin. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correct. Um, what we've done right now, what we're doing right now is an exchange of value. Over time, I have built a reputation online that, and then, but I also engage what she does. She engages what I do. So over time, we've exchanged value, and she has now seen that this person has influence in this industry. Um, he has built a reputation for himself, and then she now reached out to me. Oh, I've got a platform that I want you to also leverage on. Now, leveraging the reputation that I've built got me this speaking engagement, which is also growing my influence in the space that I'm currently in, which is personal branding and literally growing online visibility for yourself and defining a brand for yourself. So it's important that you know that. So you need to start. So we're talking about, once you identify the channels that you want to drive or grow your influence on, you need to start communicating your expertise and the value that you carry online. So for me, I speak about personal branding, um, leveraging how your image can transform your life, how image can also help you get the right job. Looking correct can help you get the right job. It's not just about your CV. So it's important that you know this. So I'll just go through this again for those that are just joining. So I'm listing out some bullet points, which is how to build influence for online visibility and profit. So the first one I said is you need to define what you want to achieve online. What is your goal? Do I want to be known as an expert? Do I want to be known as a writer? Do I want to be known as an entertainer? Do I want to be known as a commercial and brand photographer like my friend Frank Lenz? I know when he also started and then got online because we have a mutual friend. And then I'm amazed at how he has been able to grow his influence over time by showcasing the value and communicating the value that he carries. So it's important. If you don't have value, you cannot build influence. And it is your value that it is the value that you carry that will help you build a reputation. And it is the reputation that you have that would help you grow influence and also visibility online for profit. I'll take that again later. So identify what you want to achieve, become good at it, and keep getting better by getting certifications, trainings, attending events of people who are better than you, leveraging their network and relationship to also put you in the face of people who they know, who value them. Identify the channel or channels that you want to be influential on. Which I've said, do I just want to have a LinkedIn account or do I want to be present on all platforms? Start communicating your expertise and value online. Influence does not happen in just one day. I was on LinkedIn for a long time before my first post went viral. And the first post that went viral for me on LinkedIn was about how I how I how I'm able to enter events and speak confidently because of how I look, how dressing has influenced my confidence. And that was able, and this is speaking on personal branding. So, and I've been consistent with that message. So you need to start communicating your expertise, what you know, what you're good at. So, and expertise does not come in just one day. So what you speak about over time, you become better at it. So if you're a writer, you keep writing. Your writing today will not be the same in 2 years' time or in 6 months' time. So the more you do what you're good at, the better you become. So keep doing that, keep communicating, and then keep interacting with like minds to grow your network and then build genuine relationships with people online. So build a community. The next thing is build a community that values your content. Build a community that values your content. So, and how do you build a community that values your content? It means that you have to be consistent with what you post, what you share, personal branding, image consulting, styling, organizational dress code for entry level executive, C-suite executive, and the likes. These are my areas. These are what I do. This is what I speak about often. And then I've been able to help organizations and individuals craft an image that help them build an image that projects them for who they really are. So build a community that values your content. And if you don't have if you because if you're not sharing what people can connect with and then building genuine relationship, this is where I speak about when you share, you engage. If somebody comments, share, ask them for their thoughts, interact with them so that they become better. I have people who immediately I post, they're always dropping a comment. They share something, they share their thoughts with me, and I engage them. Oh, this is amazing. Sometimes I reach out to them via DM. So this is how you build relationship. The people who now they follow you, they love what you share. So leverage relationships. So like I was saying, there's a proverb that says a tree, a tree does not make a forest. One, you cannot just call one tree in the desert a forest. No, it takes many trees to actually make a forest. So if you're going to grow influence online or visibility, you cannot do it just on your own. You need to leverage relationships, build relationships with people in your industry, same industry, who do what you do. I have received connections from Malaysia, India, the US, Canada, US, and who are these people? Who am I really connecting with? Like minds who have seen my content on personal branding, and then we share thoughts on, oh, this is great. This is what personal branding is becoming. We contribute, we collaborate to grow influence. So, and how did this happen? It was by putting myself online and sharing what is valuable to me, building relationship, engaging with other people who are in my space or that do something that still relates with my space. So it's important that you leverage relationships to grow influence online, and then to also grow visibility for profits. You need relationships. You need to build relationships online. You see, a lot of you, if you I'll just use a scenario on LinkedIn now. So most of the top influencers, when I remember there was a time I used to influence for Unicaf Nigeria, an amazing university platform. Adiola, hope I'm not selling them on your platform. So I used to influence, and it was a fellow influencer on LinkedIn that reached out to me, and then, okay, there's a gig right now, and can we both write on this at the same time? A lot of you would see that on LinkedIn, where if this person is speaking about this brand, you find about 5 other influencers on LinkedIn speaking about that. And then this is how they are making profits of leveraging relationships, genuine relationships on LinkedIn. So online, you cannot, even if you're good, regardless of how good you are, you need relationships online. Regardless of how good your content is, if you're not relating with people, you can be sharing content. I have a friend that shares content on a regular basis, amazing content, but I rarely see him engage with other people, speak. Even he doesn't engage people's posts. He doesn't share his thoughts on people's platform, read what they share, and then drop his own 2 cents so that people can actually say, oh, this person has, I would like to follow this person. I dropped a comment on Tony Lumilu's posts, and the next thing I think I got maybe about 20 to 50 follows, because a lot of people connected. They felt that they could relate with this line of thinking. So it's important that you leverage relationship. So when you've built a community, when you've built a community that values your content, over time you're now able to monetize your value. So there are lots of people online right now that started out sharing value, from Chinedu Ihekwoba, amazing writer. He's my friend. We've known for a long period of time when the first LinkedIn Hangout happened. So he's a great writer, an amazing writer. He was writing. I remember when he started, was doing his thing, kept writing, engaging with people, connecting. And then over time, his writing started paying him off. So online, there's not online, growing influence online and building visibility. One thing you need to have in mind, there is no it's like there's no get rich quick syndrome. There's no get making profit quick online. There's no 5 minutes become a LinkedIn influencer in 2 days. Become go viral on LinkedIn in 1 day, 5 days. No. Anybody who tells you that, they're not really being honest with you. You need to build, you need to create value. You need to create value, build trust around the value that you create, build a community around the value that you create. Build so your the value that you share through the content that you share and post online helps you build a reputation. Oh, this person is a good writer. I have seen his writing. We can say a lot of you can now reference some of your writings, your articles are shared on some top blogs. I've had about 5 of my articles shared on a brand and marketing blog, on career portals. So this is important to note. So the first step is you need to create value and be consistent with creating this value. While you're creating this value, build relationship with those who engage with your post. Build friends, interact with people who are also in your industry and space. So over time, your content now builds a reputation for you through the value that you've been sharing. So once you now have a reputation online, you're now able to grow your influence. And from the influence that you have, you're now able to command monetary value. You can now command money for what you write, what you speak about. I get invited these days now, and then I get paid to speak on this subject matter. So it's important that you know these things. It will not happen. It's not magic. So as I conclude again, for those of you that are just joining, I'll recap. So I said how to build influence for online visibility and profit. I'll take that again. So the first thing you need to do is define what you want to achieve online. 2, become good at it and become better over time. Get certifications, attend coaching events, go for trainings that help you become better, and then put these stories of share your stories online, your lesson, how you started, how your writing is better, how your speaking is better. It's important that people know your story. They can connect with your progress, what you're doing. So have that, become better, and then share your progress, your certification, your training online with them. And then next one again, I said is identify your channel of influence. Either identify a channel or channels of influence. I have 2 channels that are key to me, Instagram and LinkedIn. I'm on different platforms, but at the same time, I'm focused on 2 platforms because if you're here and there, you might not really build influence. The 4th point is start communicating your expertise and value online. Start sharing what you know, what you do, what makes you who you are, why you're passionate about what you're doing. Be consistent with your communication. Build a community that values your content. Engage with people who comment on your post online, share with them, be in their become friends with their own content, and then share value, because it might just be somebody who comments on your post who says, I really love your post, and then I'd like to have you come and speak. The HR of one of Nigeria's top 5 leading consulting firm in Nigeria reached out to me. It was via LinkedIn. They wanted me to replace a speaker who was supposed to come and speak for personal branding. So, and how did that happen? It was by my posts that I do. And then I leverage the relationship of my friends who have a very good network of influence on LinkedIn. So when I share a post, a lot of them comment, like, and then share. And this also helps my network to grow. So it's important that you know that. So start communicating your expertise and value online. Be consistent with your communication. And don't start speaking about this today, tomorrow you're speaking about that, tomorrow you're speaking about, you're speaking on 100 subjects. Nobody will take you serious. You cannot build influence like that. So build a community that values your content. So it's like building a community of people who love what you do. It's like Nike has a community of runners. There's the Nike Run app. So there are lots of people who run. So a lot of them engage online and things like that. So they share the same goal. So that's a community of runners that the brand Nike has. So you can also, for what you share, there are people who love what you share. They're always noting it down. So every time you share anything, they want to be a part of it. So build a community around the values that you share, your content, and then leverage relationship. Build relationship with people who have greater influence than you do in your space. So that's really key. And over time, you can now monetize your value. When I started out some years ago, a lot of people, I used to get good engagement on my posts. I got influencing gigs. So when you've grown influence on these platforms, brands now pay you to share, to write content about what they do. Um, Emmanuel Lunduka and some of all these younger guys who are doing amazing well, they're doing awesome for brands, different brands, and they're making cool money while still in school. And this is thanks to writing about their passion, what they love. So influence and being able to growing influence and being able to monetize your visibility online would not happen in a day. So that's the end of my bullet points. So just to recap again before I round up, and then I call on Adiola to take over, and if there are questions, I'd like to take them. So growing influence online for growing influence and visibility online for profit. Have it at the back of your mind. It would not happen. It takes time. For some people can become influencers. Some people can grow their influence on social media within 5 months. Some it takes them 1 year. Some it takes them 2 years. Some it might be longer. But the goal is know what you're passionate about. Let your passion drive you. Let it be what you love to do. Because if you do not love what you're doing, you get tired. And over time, if you're not making money, or if you're not growing influence, you'd hate it. Even the top influencers, there are sometimes that they make posts online that it does not get more than like 20 to 30 likes. So don't be bothered. You need to understand influence is that way. Your post would not be loved 100% of the time. So, but be consistent with creating value because you know how important that content is to you. So it is the value that you create through your content that helps you to build a reputation. So one, create value through your content. Two, your content helps you to build a reputation around what you're speaking about. Thirdly, your reputation is what now drives your influence and visibility online. So lastly, I'll just say leverage relationships. So thank you very much. I hope that this session has been amazing. So thank you very much, Adiola.
Thank you very, very much, Izzy. That was an amazing session. Thank you so much
Thank,
for opening our
thank you so
eyes
much.
to how to build influence. And a lot of things stood out for me. Number one is don't be everywhere. A lot
Exactly.
of time we get overwhelmed, we get strained because we want to be
True.
everywhere. I
It has
am
happened to
also
me too.
I am also just on LinkedIn and Instagram active. I'm actually on other platforms, but I am not active there. I'm just on LinkedIn and on Instagram. And I was thinking I was only being too sensitive. Whenever I see the kind of scenario that you painted, whereby people will just be posting on a particular platform, they don't engage. It doesn't make any
Yes,
sense. It
exactly.
doesn't make, even if you are not going to be engaging with other people's posts. When people comment on your post, reply them. It says
Yes,
a lot about your brand. It says a lot about your personality. In in
exactly.
in, in such cases where you have too much of comments, you have too much of comments to reply one by one. You can just maybe just love everything, then put a general
Exactly.
comment just to appreciate people. It shows that you are proud when people try to engage you and you are not just there
You don't
for them.
you don't even rest. Yeah,
You
exactly.
don't even know
Exactly.
they are existing. You don't give a damn, like you just leave it. It doesn't really form a good impression about you. You wanted to say something.
Yeah, because and I also say the same thing. A lot of them are not encouraged because they're not encouraged to engage your post next time again.
I don't even engage. When I see that I commented maybe two times or three times and you are nowhere to be found, I will just when I see your post, at times
I,
I like, I'll just scroll because
exactly. I do
people
the same
people
exact.
give people also dedicate their time to do all these things. So they should be
Exactly.
appreciated in return. I'm going to be bringing
Exactly.
the moderator for this session on board.
Oh, okay. Great. Great. Great.
He's now around. His name is Joseph. He lives in from South Africa. So I'm
Oh.
going to bring him around to anchor the question and answer
Oh,
session.
okay. Okay.
Over to you, Joseph.
Hello, Mr. Joseph. Pleasure to have you. Yeah, I can't. Your microphone is muted. We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Good, Mr. Easy Chukudi. Thank you so much for so much value. I was
Ye-
just saying that we have a breakout here. The electricity just decided to go. That's why you can see me properly.
Oh no, it's
But
fine. I can
really,
still
I
see you. It's
followed
okay. I can.
yeah, and thank you so much for sharing so much value. And I was so when Coach Minta, that's how we call her, the host of this
Oh,
summit,
okay.
invited me to moderate this session. I was so impressed with reading what you've been doing, and I will be moderating the question and the
The
comment.
question and
But
answer.
before I come in, I want to
Okay.
ask one question.
Okay.
It seems in the industry where you are, one industry is not that fashionable, the one in the oil industry, because of
Yeah.
what has been happening in the industry. People thinking that like people around the oil are not benefiting. Is it easy for you to represent such brand?
It's actually not. It's actually not. It's not easy. Um. So, and this is so one of the biggest challenge within the oil and gas sector, especially when you're dealing with communities that you probably they get oil from. So
Mm,
yes, it is God gave it to their community and all, but at the same time,
mm,
it has become sort of like a government property and the likes. So my brand, we
mm,
really don't really engage. We really get outsourced contracts to us. We don't really go to these communities, but from
mm.
but from brand managers that I've related with, it's really not easy because at the same time, um, they're not easy people to please. So you literally just have to
Yes.
manage them. You so it's
Mm,
more about managing them and trying to do because left to them, there's really nothing that you do that really that would they want it's as if they want everything from the oil firm, which is
but
and
you
this
have
oil
managed
company
to
is just
get
saying
result. You have
yes,
managed to get result.
definitely. You see, the truth is, at every point in time, we find a compromise. There's always going to be a
Mm,
compromise where we meet.
yes.
Okay, these are your demands. This is what we have, and then okay, we're not able to meet this. Can you meet us here? And then we're able to everybody, and we reach a gentleman's agreement where everybody just we're just fine.
Yeah.
Nobody wins, nobody loses, so we all just have we're in between. So yes.
So, which means if you can win in that difficult industry, what about those industries which are not difficult? It means people can really do this.
No, so yes, so what I've come to realize is, um, one of the first ways to deal with a difficult situation is not to see it as acknowledge the fact that it is a difficult situation, but then again,
Mm,
do not allow the difficulty becloud your judgment, because most times
mm,
when you're dealing with a difficult situation, when you're in a difficult situation, and then you keep saying, this is a difficult situation, so your mind just compounds the problem. So
mm,
you're not able to see solutions immediately. So
yes.
I always acknowledge the difficulty of situations, but I do not allow my mind be overridden with the problem. So I'm still able to, okay, this is a difficult situation, but
Mm,
there should be a way around this. I can find a way around this.
yes.
So that's how I handle difficult
Mm,
situations, and that's how I've been able to win.
good. Let me read few comments from the YouTube channel, and then I will also come
Okay.
up with some of the questions. Titilope Odadele says, "Thank you so much, Izzy. And then
Thank you.
um, it takes time building influence. It takes time. That is blessings. Then another one, Noah for blessing says, let your passion drive you. And I
Yes,
remember where you did really focus on this, because if you're not really into this, you will give up. You will start
yes,
maybe saying that why people are not responding or why people are not reacting. But I did
exactly.
like when you insist on consistency. With
Yes, it's
consistency,
important.
um, and doing all these things you said, engaging others, commenting, and also providing value, not just being online for the sake of being online. But if you have
Exactly,
gone through the course which you have mentioned, there is no way you cannot get result.
exactly.
And I
Very
do
true.
ask
Very
myself,
true.
if we can have a post which can get 1 million likes, which is not really selling even too much. But what about if you are selling a proper service, and if you are doing something, I'm sure you will get result.
Definitely, definitely, definitely you will. Definitely you will.
I want
Definitely
to
you will.
check, do we have questions on our Facebook? Those were otherwise, most of these they are comments, and but I should really
Okay.
let you know that everyone is really um, appreciating what you shared. And I see people are now wanting to take action about getting certification, training, and
Mm.
seminars. And then
Yes.
Adeleke Adedamola says, identify what you want to achieve, become a good at it, and grow. And
Yes.
then
Exactly.
she adds, influence does not happen in one day.
Yes.
What could you
Exactly.
tell to those people who just started maybe a new brand? And I know you have touched it, maybe some people who have just joined, but who are impatient to see results.
Okay. So if you're just starting out, you're trying to build a brand for yourself, either a corporate brand or a personal brand, which is you're either trying to sell a product or service, or you're trying to sell yourself. What I'm going to tell you
Mhm,
is be patient. Be
mhm,
patient. And then at the same time, the next thing I'm going to tell you is you need to believe in what you are selling, believe in what you carry. So be patient enough, believe in what you carry, that what you carry has value. The people who are currently
mhm,
seeing it now might not be seeing the value that you want them to see, but there will be, but because you are consistent enough and you believe in what you are doing, over time,
mhm,
it might be your fifth post, it might be your 10th item before you sell. I remember creating an e-commerce store online during the pandemic. I was on that store for
mhm,
almost 2 months before I made my first sale. And immediately I made
mhm,
my first sale, it became better. So you need to understand whether selling a product or a service, or either selling a
mhm,
product service or you're trying to sell yourself.
mhm,
Understand something, that you need to be patient. Be patient,
mhm.
believe in what you're selling, believe in yourself, believe in what you're the value, believe in the content that you're sharing, believe in what you're putting out there. And with time,
Good.
the right people
Yes.
would connect with you and your brand will get to where it should be.
Thank you so much. Minta, do we have some questions which I might have missed? If you can unmute Coach Minta.
Okay, sorry.
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't know that I was muted. Okay, thank you very much for that, Izzy.
Yes,
Someone
you're
else is
welcome.
also asking here, Esther Idika. She's saying, I have been trying to become more intentional on Instagram, but I don't seem to get a hang of it. How do I change that? The low engagement are so discouraging. Now, I would like to take that question just to continue
Oh,
from
okay.
where our speakers taught.
Awesome.
Mhm,
Awesome.
It takes time to build. I shared
Mm,
a short video on my WhatsApp status this afternoon where a preacher was saying, do not be envy of anybody.
mm,
Time is the language of success. Now, we've said that, we cannot overemphasize that. But apart from
yes.
timing, I also need to mention this. understand strategies. These
Yes.
days, people just eat. Let me tell you, apart from time, apart from you going viral, because I made a video recently or a few weeks ago where I talk about how to make the most of virality. And I said in that video that virality is not something that you plan, except you want to go naked. If you go naked
Yes.
on LinkedIn or Instagram now, you will go viral. You will
Immediately.
go viral immediately.
Immediately.
If
Immediately.
you are having sex on the street in a broad daylight, you will go viral, except you want to do something
Exactly.
very crazy and nasty. And I know nobody
Exactly.
wants to do that. So we do not have power over going viral. In fact, at times, some of your posts that you least expected that will get people's attention will just boom and the engagement will be crazy. And you'll be like, and
Exactly.
at times it's even the one that you were thinking that will go, people will accept, go gaga, everybody
That
will
does
like it.
not that does not now perform.
It won't perform. So we do not have the power for virality. Now, apart
Exactly.
from timing, apart from you going viral, which is, I even said it in that video that it's not everybody that will go viral. Let that one
Yes.
sink in your head.
Exactly.
Because
Know
when
that.
Emmanuel Induka went viral, I see a lot of funny things people were doing online just to also. I'm like, this is childish. Don't do
You,
this.
somebody, what I'll not mention his name, he posted something recently and said that the Gen Zs really need to calm down,
I
really, right
told you,
now.
in fact, even me
Because
then, I had to do a video to address them that this thing
they
is
really need
going
to,
crazy. You guys should just calm
yeah,
down. The fact that this
really,
guy got the attention of Tony Elumelu does not mean you should all go after him.
it
It's
becomes
quite
too tacky.
irritating. Yes, it
Yes,
becomes very
yes.
irritating. For goodness sake, I am not sure. I have a kind of close relationship with Emmanuel, and we've spoken so many times, and I'm not sure that that thing that happened was planned. It just
I exactly.
happened.
I don't think, yes, it just
So
really
most of the
happened.
time, virality are not even planned. It just happened, and you just see yourself in the limelight. You just sleep in
Hmm.
the you sleep at night as a nobody, and in the morning you wake up as somebody that everybody's talking about all over the internet. So apart
Exactly.
from timing, apart from going viral, which everybody might not have to taste before we die anyway, the next thing
Yeah.
is understanding strategies. People do
Strategy
not
is
want to
important.
learn these days. People want to be doing try and error, like you said in your presentation, that people are
Hmm.
all over the social media trying to pick, okay, let me try this one. Is this one working? If it doesn't
Yeah,
work, drop it.
exactly.
No, don't do that. Master
Exactly.
strategies, learn, get
Hmm.
trained. So many
Yes.
people do not want to get trained. I am also on Instagram, and I discovered that the algorithm on Instagram is quite different from the
From LinkedIn.
algorithm on other social media platforms.
Yes.
And we have a lot of people organizing classes. People don't want to pay for these classes. You keep struggling and struggling and struggling. Let me tell you a story. I started out for this whole thing. I started out in 2015. When I started out, I started posting content. Two like, one like. At times, I'm the only one that would like it. At the point, I was so frustrated. I said, what's all this nonsense now? Why will somebody be posting? And nobody is, So in 2016, I left
Yeah.
the internet. I started in 2015, like I said. In 2016, I just left. It's like this social media thing is not for me. I beg, I beg, I beg. You people should be doing your thing. I just left. And in 2017, when you have a message, you have a
Yeah.
body, you want to do something. So there's this burden in my heart. I have a lot of things I want to push out. But because I was discouraged online, and I said, okay, if online thing is not working, then let me publish a book. Let me put everything I want to say, let me put it in a book. And
Yes.
I got to work. I started writing my first book. Now, something now happened when I was writing my book. I left Nigeria to Cote d'Ivoire. Cote d'Ivoire is a French speaking country. I couldn't do anything in Cote d'Ivoire. I couldn't sell my English book to Cote d'Ivoire, to Ivorians. And I
Yeah.
was now forced to come back online to my Nigerian
Oh.
community to come and tell them
Yeah.
about my book, because I've already paid the publisher. I was already writing. Everything is already, and I'm like, who will I sell this book to now? Who will I sell it to? So I was forced to come back online. And when I came back online, something happened. As I was trying to market my book, to talk to people about my book, I got in touch with a coach. I just,
Yeah.
somebody shared our post, and I'm like, oh, I love this post. And I went to check the person out. I tried to scroll through our timeline and I saw a lot of amazing content. I'm like, I think I need to connect more with this lady. She has what it takes for me to move to the next level on my online visibility. And that was how I was glued to this lady. Attended a lot of I started with free classes, attended a lot of our free classes, moved to paid. And I tell you, within a short space, the that the kind of speed I was moving, I was shocked myself. At times I asked myself, when you're a
How?
mystery to yourself, how did this
Yeah,
happen?
really.
It started from my profile picture. I had to change my profile picture. I went to the studio to get a nice and professional headshots. I started putting out, at times I would just post anything I like. And I understand what is content creation. How do I get people to engage on my content? What are the
Yes.
criteria that my content needs to meet before people would engage? I started learning a lot and a lot changed. A lot changed to the extent that they chased me out of Facebook. Which because the energy was just out of this world. When you are doing something and you are getting results, and everybody is like, they are
Exactly.
like, oh, if I at a point, the lady who trained me, this lady that I got glued to, who trained me, was beginning to get afraid of me. She'll come and meet me and say, Minta, where did you mention my name? Oh, because now, I have 500 requests. I have 200. I was like, I did not mention. It's only when you mention my name on your post that people start rushing me and all that. I'm like, I did not mention your name today. Oh, if I mention your name, I will tell you. So
Yeah.
it's about learning these things. There's a way to this thing. Let me just put that. There is a way. Learn. If you need, I am not doing so well on Instagram because I know I have not mastered how Instagram works. If I really want to build my network
Exactly.
on Instagram, I will go all out to get trained on how Instagram algorithm works. The same thing
Exactly.
with LinkedIn. I got
Exactly.
someone. I I hope I'm not boring you with my story.
No, not at all. I'm sure that people are learning from, because this is the beauty of
Okay, because I
having
like
conversations
story.
like
I
this.
believe that people can relate with practical stories
Stories.
and all.
We are
Yes.
When I
learning.
when I got on LinkedIn, like I told you that they use witchcraft to chase me from Facebook because they said that energy is too much for them. So
Yeah.
I ported to LinkedIn, and when I got to LinkedIn, I discovered that LinkedIn is also a different environment on its own. I need to learn. I need to understand how the system work, how the app work, and a lot of things. So I said to myself, I might not have the time to go and sit down with a coach now and say, okay, teach me. Let me get a
Yeah.
social media manager that's going to manage this, because I was also posting 2 likes, 3 likes, 5. I said, this is not what I want. So I got a social media manager. Her name is Aderonke Adeyemi. She managed the page for me for I think 3 months or 4 months. She has been on the platform. She knows what's up. Like our Nigerian people will say, she knows what's up on that platform already. So I engaged her. I was paying her. But the problem is that a lot of, I said it in my presentation yesterday, that building a brand is investment. You were
Yes, it
talking
is.
about your appearance in your workplace the other time, that you stood out, that a lot of people see you as a model, as a standard for dressing when it comes to dressing your organization. Does
Yes.
that come cheap? To dress well doesn't come cheap.
It
A lot of
doesn't.
intentionality goes into it. So
Exactly.
building a
Exactly.
brand is an investment. I said it yesterday and I will say it again and again. Building a brand is an investment. You should be ready to invest in your brand, invest in yourself in terms of your physical appearance, in terms of your knowledge bank. Get knowledge.
Exactly.
So I'm not talking about the question now, just about the question for Instagram. I'm talking generally. If you want to
Hmm.
thrive in every area, Eze has also mentioned it when he started his presentation, that you need to get the required knowledge. Go for conferences,
Exactly.
go for training, go for seminars. Pay. Pay. When people don't pay for things, they don't pay attention. Buy books,
Yeah.
read, take courses. Joseph is here, he's a South African. We connected through my coaching program. And I see him doing fantastically well, even in his own online presence. People need to understand that if you want to know how things work better, pay
Yes.
to learn it. When you
Exactly.
pay attention.
Exactly.
When you pay for things, you concentrate. You wouldn't want to pay for a training and you will not take it, or you know. get it, or you will not attend the classes, or you will just disappear. Like some people just disappear, you will not see them because it's free.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just what I
Mm-hmm.
want to explain, that at times we need to try and dip hands into our pockets to pay. When I was presenting yesterday, I also mentioned, when I was talking about how to enhance your brand with photography, how to enhance your brand image with photography.
Photography is really key right now. It's
Yes,
key.
eating the
Mm.
studio to take professional picture for your brand is not cheap. The last time I came to Nigeria, because I don't like the photography services of this place at all. They used to, in fact, I don't even know. Let me not even talk about that one. So anytime I come to Nigeria like that, it's always an opportunity for me to take picture, plenty pictures that I will be using for my brand till the next time. I paid a lot of money, close to 100,000, just for makeup and picture. And I think from that particular photography session, I had like 239 pictures. I have them on my phone. Anytime I need to post, I can use them. I can play around with my pictures to represent
Mm-hmm.
my brand. Building a brand is not cheap. You need to invest in your appearance, your brand image, your knowledge bank. And everything sums up to how to build influence, how you can build influence, and how to eventually monetize your influence. Our time is up, and our next speaker is already on board. Thank you very much, Eze, for doing this with
Thank you.
us.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Joseph.
We'll
It's
see you.
Thank you so much. So
We'll
we
see you
see
some
all
each
right,
other
other
in the
guys.
time.
next session.
All
All right.
right, bye.
Good.
Thank
Bye
you very
bye.
much, Joseph. I
Thank you.
don't know
Thank you.
whether you will still be able to moderate the next session, or we should excuse you.
It looks too dark here. Maybe I will hand over to you.
All right. Thank you very much
Good.
for
Good.
coming around. Thank you, everyone who is watching. We hope you've been able to get one or two things from the last session. Our next speaker is already around, and I want us to welcome her with a clapping ovation. Please welcome our next speaker with a clapping ovation. We are going to go on a break now, and when we are back, we will continue. Thank you, and don't go away. You're welcome back to this live broadcast, and I'm going to be bringing in our guest right away. But before I do that, I would like us to know who she is and what she does. So I am going to be playing a profile for you to get familiarized with her.
Let's meet our speaker, Veronica Aino. Veronica Aino is a lawyer licensed to practice in Nigeria and an incoming analyst at a global investment bank. She is also the Chief Operating Officer at Grodice, an online community providing insight and opportunities to ambitious young people. She has several interests and keeps exploring them. In the course of finding her purpose, she has explored many paths, including fashion, makeup, international policy, tech, research, entertainment, among others. You can call her the jack of all trades. As a serial networker, Veronica has built meaningful relationships with senior executives of multinationals using LinkedIn. Amidst the pandemic, she leveraged her skills and experiences to land multiple job offers, both locally and internationally, before finishing from law school. Through Grodice, she has had the opportunity to help many young people add value to themselves and others, personally and professionally. She is also the co-host of the Growth Podcast by Grodice, the #1 self-improvement podcast on Apple Podcasts. When she's not reading or hosting podcasts, you will find her designing, sewing, and volunteering.
Hello, hello,
Hi.
the
Hi,
celebrity
hi.
high commissioner.
Oh, thank you.
To
Thank you.
have
It's
you
so
on board.
nice to meet you.
Really, really nice to meet you too. I've said a lot about you to my WhatsApp people. I
Aw.
when I first came in touch with you on Instagram, I had to take the screenshot of your picture, posted about it, went to listen to your podcast. I think around 55 minutes, listened to everything,
Wow.
shared nuggets from it with my WhatsApp. They were like, "Oh, we'd love to see this lady." So I promised them. I said, "And I'm going to get this lady on board for the Global Brand Summit. Just watch me."
Wow.
A few days after, I messaged you and you said yes, and I was like, "Oh, she said yes." I'm so happy that you're finally here today. Thanks so much for coming on board.
Thank you too for having me. It's so nice to be here to share my experience on leveraging LinkedIn with everybody here. And yeah, I hope that everybody can learn from me. I'm still very young and I'm still learning too. So we'll all
All right,
learn
I'm
from each
putting the
other.
stage for you now. So do
Okay.
have a wonderful.
Thank you. I have my slides, so if you can just help me put it. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Hi, everybody. Good evening or good afternoon, wherever you are, depending on your time zone. I hope you're doing very well, and I hope you can all hear me. And as you've heard before, my name is Veronica Aino, and I'm a lawyer and an incoming analyst at Bank of America, which is a global investment bank. I'm also the chief operating officer at Gradients, and I will be talking about leveraging LinkedIn for maximizing results, for maximum results rather, for jobs, international opportunities, and business opportunities. So just in case some of you don't know what LinkedIn is a social network specifically designed for career and business professionals in a bid to connect and leverage on their collective resources and network and support. So if you do not know what LinkedIn is, it's basically an app that's just like Facebook or Instagram, but LinkedIn is for professionals basically, and you use it for professional reasons. So let me start by sharing a story of how LinkedIn has helped me. When I wanted to get my job at Bank of America, I thought it was necessary for me to speak to professionals and recruiters and executives within the bank to learn more about the bank, and also just for me to get to know how to go about the whole process. And of course, I knew that I still had to go through the normal application process, but I understood that networking will take you to places where normal application cannot take you to. So before I submitted my application, while I was learning about the bank, I came across an article where they interviewed a C-suite executive at the bank, and I sent her a personalized invite on LinkedIn. And in my personalized invite, I made reference to a quote from the interview, which she had granted few weeks before. And that quote resonated with me. So that was how I started the conversation with her. And we kickstarted the conversation from there. She referred me to two recruiters within the bank. Normally, when you're applying like that, recruiters will not speak with you because they don't want bias. But she referred me to two recruiters and they could not say no to me. So this networking that I did gave me some inside info or tips that helped me with my application, and I got a summer internship offer with the bank and then got a full-time offer after that internship. And I was very strategic about my approach of attracting the said C-suite executive, because trust me, these are people who are very busy and they do not respond to just any LinkedIn message. So today's session is going to show you how you can make your LinkedIn profile so strong that whenever someone comes across your profile, they cannot ignore it. And I want you to see LinkedIn beyond a place where you just go to brag about your achievements, but as a social network that can change your life. And LinkedIn is a gold mine. Most professionals are on LinkedIn. So if you're a professional and you want to stand out, you have to start using LinkedIn. LinkedIn has over 800 million users and is still growing. And you probably already know that there is this is where you can be if you want to manage your professional reputation. And so this session will enable you to understand how LinkedIn works and how you can access opportunities that lie in on LinkedIn and even beyond. And it will help you raise your visibility among your peers. And I really hope that after this session, you learn how to build a stellar profile by creating a cohesive, compelling personal brand for yourself on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is a place where you showcase your personal and professional brand. So, what will you be learning in this session? You'll be learning the importance of LinkedIn, how to build a stellar profile. I'll teach you how to create and revamp your personal profile, and I'll teach you how to optimize your profile for job search, internships, and career moves, and also networking on LinkedIn, because that's how you're going to get the jobs and career opportunities from LinkedIn, by networking. So, why should you optimize your LinkedIn? LinkedIn is so important. You can use it for job search, you can use it for industry switch, and LinkedIn can also help you when you're trying to make a career move. LinkedIn can help you get your clients if you're a business owner. You can get your customers from LinkedIn, and of course for networking, for just for networking sake, because you really don't know where you're going in the future. So that's what we're going to be covering, and these are the reasons why I believe everybody here who is a professional should get a LinkedIn account, and not just have it for having sake, but have an active LinkedIn account. So what are some of the importance of LinkedIn? LinkedIn is more than just a store of your profile or an extension of your CV. It is a very highly active community that can help and support and foster opportunities for you as an individual, if you have a company, if you have a firm. So this is so important. And LinkedIn helps you create awareness. Your LinkedIn network is can get as wide as possible, and it's not like Instagram or Facebook where you stress to get followers. As long as you have value to offer, you will get followers on LinkedIn. And so it helps you it provides it showcases you to organizations, to groups, and it can help you increase your visibility and awareness to your target group. So if you're trying to get the attention of recruiters, LinkedIn is the place you should be, and not just be there, but be active there. Also, LinkedIn helps you build your credibility, because it serves as a way of you, building your online presence rather. You participate in conversations via sites and groups. There are LinkedIn groups. I'm sure you probably don't know, but we'll get to that. And then you can share content there, and and whenever you get googled, I don't know if you know this, but if you do not have online presence, if you have a LinkedIn account, if you google your name, your LinkedIn account will be the first thing that will pop. So for those people that are still trying to build an online presence, are still trying to make a name for themselves, LinkedIn is a good starting point. And so you should have a LinkedIn account to have credibility, because when someone meets you, trust me, everyone is googling, like they want to know, who is this person, or this person is offering me this, can I trust this person? So this is how you can build credibility from yourself, by building your personal brand through LinkedIn. Also for networking, LinkedIn provides you easy way to network with different people, and it helps you meet new people every day. Like literally every day, I'm meeting a new person on LinkedIn. For research purposes as well, LinkedIn is so powerful to help you provide information. And I'll share a quick story here. When I was in final year in university, I was writing my project on a topic that I knew nothing about. It was a very strange topic to me. So I knew that I needed like support, as much support as possible. And this is because it was a novel area, and in Nigeria we didn't have enough resources or people that had done research in this area. So I had to reach out to people that had not studied in Nigeria, that that were doing their masters abroad and things like that. So that was how I was able. So I decided to use LinkedIn, and I reached out to people. I just searched for the keywords in my project, right? And I saw people who were doing research in that area, or people who studied in that area in university. And that was how I was able to connect with professors and a lot of people who could give me resources that I used for my undergraduate project. And so even though my project was very, very novel, at the end of the day, my supervisor was so impressed by how much research I had done. And thanks to LinkedIn, most of the resources I used were provided by people on my LinkedIn page. So LinkedIn is so powerful. And I had an A in that project. Yeah. So you don't know what you can, like, there is no limit to what you can use LinkedIn for. Also for leads generation and just getting firms to get to know about you. You know, they can just search keywords that relate to you and they will find you. And firms are always looking, they're looking for people in different areas. You know, the world is moving, there's always a new area and they need people. They always need to recruit people. And that brings me to the next point, which is recruiting. LinkedIn is useful both for you as a job seeker and for the recruiters, because that's where they go to get their talent. And you see people always reaching out to certain people on LinkedIn to get them to come and work for their company. That's because they have built a really good LinkedIn profile for themselves, and they can, you know, the recruiters know about them and they can reach out to them to promote open positions and find them as qualified candidates. So there are many opportunities. You are very talented. I believe that in Nigeria we have so much talent, but people are not able to tap into that talent because the talent is not easily accessible. And so building a good LinkedIn profile for yourself will help you find your job. I mean, this job at Bank of America will be my first actual job, and LinkedIn helped me to secure it. So there's no limits, like I would say. Now, moving on, how can you build a stellar LinkedIn profile? Because I believe that's why we're here. Like, how? So the first thing is to put in the time. I opened my LinkedIn account in 2017. That's 5 years ago. But what my LinkedIn account looks like now is nothing compared to what it looked like when I first opened it. And so it was something I did over time. It's not a day's job. It's not something you just wake up and say, oh, let me open a LinkedIn account and then you forget about it. It's important that you put in the work so that when someone clicks on your profile, they find what they're looking for, or they look at it and they know that, wow, this person has put in so much job. And LinkedIn will actually help you measure the completeness of your profile. So all you need to do is put in all the necessary information, and LinkedIn will tell you whether your profile is complete or not. So they made the work easy for you. Also, choose a great picture. I heard Minta talk about the importance of having great pictures on your for your personal brand, and I was just like, yes, like your profile picture can attract people, like as simple as it is and irrelevant as it appears to be. Your profile picture can be the reason someone will connect with you. Your profile picture might be the reason someone will reply your message, because in your profile picture you look like a serious person, and that's why they'll just be like, okay, let me just give this person an ear, because they think you're a serious person. So make sure that your profile picture looks really good. If you check my LinkedIn now, you see that my profile picture is looking good. If you check Minta's LinkedIn, you see that, oh my God, her picture is looking really beautiful. And so you need to invest in making sure that your LinkedIn picture looks good. Let it convey passion, energy, charisma, the boss babe or boss man vibe. And so moving on, have a creative headline. So important. Your headline doesn't have to be your job title. I mean, that's so boring. Make sure your headline is very creative. If you're a LinkedIn user, then make sure that your headline, shows who you are. Let it portray who you are. Don't just leave it at your current title or your company's name. Yeah, that's fine. By me, you can be very creative with it. And like, there's this friend of mine, for example, her LinkedIn headline is one over three law students, one over three researcher, and one over three content creator. So one third of me is a content creator, one third of me is a law student, and one third of me is a researcher. And I find that really creative because I've not seen it anywhere else, and it shows who she is. So just get creative. You have I think you have about 120 characters, but I promise you there's a lot you can do with that 120 characters. Make sure that your headline is a statement that promotes who you are as a brand. Let it market you, and let it be very specific. Sell yourself basically in those 120 characters of your headline. So I hope after today's session, you will not have any boring headlines. I want you to put hashtag no boring headlines in the comments for me. Thank you. And then also you need to have a um succinctly showcase your value, basically. And this involves making sure that you don't just breeze through whatever you want to write on your profile. Let me look at your profile and know that this person has value to offer. And that's very important because every recruiter, everybody's looking for what value they can get from you. So you want to make sure that your profile succinctly shows the value that you have to offer. For example, if I am a certified project manager, I can write PMP certified project manager known for successfully leading multi-million dollar projects in developing countries. If I have a headline like this, I don't think any recruiter or anybody that opens my LinkedIn will be confused as to what I stand for. That's what I'm talking about. So if you're looking for, if I'm a recruiter and I'm looking for a certified project manager and I search for certified project manager, that guy's profile is going to show up because the person is a certified project manager and is showing on their profile. So make sure that your profile says who you are. Speak directly to the audience you want to entice. So your LinkedIn headline should make sure that it has a target audience and the headline is speaking to your target audience because you know engine, LinkedIn is a search engine. People are looking for talent. People are looking for people that they can use for different things. So you need to make sure that you have a compelling LinkedIn headline. Let it be something that will compel or seduce the decision maker at the receiving end of the message. For example, if I'm a robotics industry recruiter and I'm looking for a robotics engineer, for example, I'll just and I see somebody's profile that has customer focus pro who can program every robot in your manufacturing facility, specializing in ABB, FANUC, and Kawasaki robots. This profile is very specific and goes straight to the point to let me know who this person is. And when I'm looking for a robotics engineer, your profile is gonna pop up because it is basically is saying this is the person you're looking for, right? So that's what I'm talking about. Be specific. Again, I would say consider this headline thing is very important. Make sure it stands out and be specific. You know, for example, imagine having a headline like tirelessly caring registered nurse who helps pediatric cancer patients and their families feel at ease throughout treatment and recovery. If I'm looking for a nurse that can care for children or any cancer patient, I already have my guy because her profile is there. And if I search for cancer nurse or pediatric cancer nurse, I'll find that profile because it's on the headline. Add a multimedia to your summary. Record the correct pronunciation of your name or add a video summary. So like I already said before, a picture is worth more than 1,000 words, especially when it comes to showcasing your work. And LinkedIn has features that will help you add photos, videos, slideshows, presentations to your profile summary. So instead of you just talking about your work, and just being boring about it, make sure you have videos. There's a place where you can record the correct pronunciation of your name. And for us Nigerians, we can have really complicated names sometimes. So nobody murders your name, you can put it on your LinkedIn. So if the person still comes and pronounces your name wrongly, you know that it's their fault. There's a space where you can have a short video describing who you are. These are features that are there to help you enhance your personal brand and to make your LinkedIn profile very appealing. Moving on, insert important keywords. So if you're looking for a job, for example, there are certain keywords that are very important. And you know that there are certain keywords that you always find in your job description. Make sure those keywords are not missing in your LinkedIn profile and in your headline because these are the keywords that the recruiters will use when they are searching for talent, right? So that's why you need to have them. Be creative. I mean, this cannot be overemphasized. You don't have to be so boring about your LinkedIn. Let your LinkedIn show you who you are and be very creative about it. Use your target job description to your advantage. If you are looking for a specific role, you know the job description. Make sure that your LinkedIn profile has some of those words such that or phrases such that when they search for those words, they will find you. Don't waste your summary space. So there's a space on LinkedIn where you can write some short paragraph about who you are, preferably with bullet points. So however you want to do it, but make sure that your key skills, your qualifications, the industries you're interested in, the industries you work in, they are there, because all the exposures you've gained, make sure they are all there, and make sure that your summary is very good. Please don't write your summary in the third person, because I see people writing Veronica is a, and I'm like, this is your summary. It should be about you, and it should not be written in a it should not be written in the third person. Use numbers right up front. So I've said a lot about how your headline should be, but now I'm going into the profile where you write your experiences and everything. Make sure you use numbers to depict what you want, like what the value you've added. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. So because numbers tend to grab attention, and when you use numbers, it registers faster. So make sure you use numbers. For example, I have helped more than 40,000 business people from entry level to CEO understand how to effectively use LinkedIn. Tell me, if you see this, do I need to say more? No, I need not say more, because this already says it all. And because of the use of the word 40,000, it registers and it sticks. So use numbers. Be warm and welcoming. Make sure that your summary section is an opportunity for people to see the good stuff about you. Make sure that your summary doesn't have long and pompous speech. Make sure that your summary is not crafted in the third person, and make sure that it's not sounding pretentious or sounding like you're not a real person. You want to sound very personal, and you want to sound very warm and welcoming. You want someone to look at your profile and want to continue scrolling because your profile looks welcoming. Don't use unprofessional language, and make sure that your brand message is there. Avoid buzzwords like a plague. This is so important. So you don't need to start putting I'm very creative, effective, analytical, strategic, I'm patient, I'm an expert, organizational, driven, because those are things that anybody can write about themselves. So please avoid them. I don't like, I mean, I can know that you're an expert without you saying you're an expert. I'm not saying using the word expert is bad, but I've just avoid those patronizing buzzwords, because you can be more creative than that. And besides, let your work speak for you, not just the buzzwords. If you're analytical, then show that in maybe some work experience that you have had, or some projects that you worked where you use that skill. Treat your profile like your resume. Make sure that all your job description is there, everything is there, your experiences. See, you can't put everything in your resume, especially when you've achieved a lot, because they will always tell you your resume should be one page, but your LinkedIn is can get as long as possible. So make sure that you highlight your best accomplishments and everything on your LinkedIn. In case you can't put everything in your profile, make sure that you have a link to your LinkedIn on your resume, so that the recruiter can just click it and go and see all the amazing things you've done on your LinkedIn page. Get a bit personal. Make sure that your profile looks, really good. Moving on, make sure that your profile is not just a resume. Let it speak more about who you are. Don't let it be just so sounding so robotic and so rehearsed. Make sure it looks really nice. Let it show your values and your passions. Show your achievements. Of course, this goes without saying, but recruiters spend time, looking through LinkedIn to find talent, like I've said before. So make sure you know that, make sure that your LinkedIn is serving you. Make sure that your LinkedIn is serving your target audience. Make sure that your LinkedIn shows all your achievements, because you are a star. If you don't know that, you're a star, and your LinkedIn should show that you are a star. Let them see your LinkedIn and be like, oh, I want to speak with this person, because, and that's the effect I have. Like, whenever anyone opens my LinkedIn, I get messages every day, and I get people saying, oh, I really looked at your profile, and for someone who just finished from school, you're doing amazing. Your profile looks amazing. So that's the effect that you want to have on people. Include your current job entry. So you know how people put unemployed on their LinkedIn, and it pisses me off, because no recruiter wants to see unemployed. Nobody wants to see unemployed on your link, even if you're unemployed. I'm sure there is something you can put. Take up projects and put them as what you're currently doing. Let's not be that, oh, you're just idle. Let it be that you're doing something. So at every point in time, let there be no blank space on your LinkedIn. Make sure that you have something to show the recruiter when they come, because some people's LinkedIn page just look like someone forced them to open it, and you don't want to be that person. So make sure that if you are interested in a particular field, let your LinkedIn profile reflect that you're interested in that field. For example, if I am interested in management consulting, the least I can do is to put management consulting enthusiast on my LinkedIn headline, so that in case someone has an open internship opportunity, they will remember me and they will find me and they will give me the opportunity. So make sure that that is always there. If you are still in training for something, put it there. Don't just make it blank. Don't just say, oh, I don't have any opportunity, I don't have any experience, so I won't put anything. My dear, get a project to work on and put it on your LinkedIn, so it shows that you're not idle. Add your education and job and work experiences. Your LinkedIn network is built around people, your groups, your organizations, and things like that. So I mean, that's what should be on your profile, the schools you have gone to, because it also helps you expand your network. You find people who have attended your school. I mean, I'll always see um so number of people attended University of Lagos. Whenever I search for a company, it will always show me the people in that company that attended my school, and that's what I want to see, because these are the people that I can relate to. So if I want to apply to a company like Facebook, for example, there's so many people working in Facebook. I can't just reach out to any random person. But if I see that, okay, this person attended my school, and LinkedIn can only tell you that this person attended your school because you have put your school on your profile. And so you can reach out to the person on the basis that this person attended your school. So that's what I'm talking about, that your LinkedIn should have everything, so that it will help the search engine to help you find what you're looking for. Add the projects you've worked on, your volunteer experiences, languages that you have learned. Everything should be on your LinkedIn profile. Make sure that if you know how to speak English, Mandarin, French, put it there. If you have any project management certifications, put it there. If you volunteer for anything, put it on your LinkedIn. If you have any additional certification, any project, just put it there, because you really don't know which one will come through for you. Moving on, request for LinkedIn recommendations, or make them strategic. Yeah, this is very important, because it gives you credibility. If people see recommendations in your LinkedIn, they think, okay, this person is someone I want to talk to. This is someone that I can reckon with. This is someone that people have said good things about. And please, anybody that's writing a recommendation for you, don't let them put anything generic there. For example, Veronica was great to work with. Haba, like, that's so boring. Let them be more specific. Veronica's contribution on the project enabled us to increase forecasting savings by 5%, which is over our original plan. This makes your LinkedIn more appealing, and it showcases your strength. It gives you credibility. Make your LinkedIn very strategic. Make sure that you are strategic about your updates. In fact, your LinkedIn should help you track your your achievements. So if you the last time you updated your LinkedIn was 2019, and you literally don't have any other thing to put, it shows that you've not been working, it shows that you've not been active, and so you probably need to up your game, so that your LinkedIn is not showing that you're not doing anything. And also try to get strategic recommendations from people that have worked with you, so that they can highlight your strengths for you. Especially if let's say you did an internship at GT Bank, for example, get your manager at GT Bank to write a LinkedIn recommendation for you. That is going to be a very strong recommendation on your LinkedIn profile, and that's something that recruiters can easily relate with. Manage your endorsements. Make sure that you get people to endorse you. I mean, you can't go about asking people to endorse you on LinkedIn, obviously, but make sure that from your strengths, people who know you will be able to endorse your skills on LinkedIn. I have endorsements on my LinkedIn, and not any. I have a lot of endorsements, but not I never asked anybody to endorse me for any skill. People will just on their own endorse you when they know the stuff you're made of. So make sure that you are showcasing who you are, so that they can, for example, now after this session, if you go through my LinkedIn page and you connect with me, you can easily endorse me for public speaking because you've heard me speak and you know that I'm a good public speaker. So that's what I'm talking about. Stay active. Oh, I cannot overemphasize this because it's so, so important. Make sure that you're part of a group. Make sure that you are, because LinkedIn groups provide you incredible resources for your job search and get to network with people. So make sure that you're very active on LinkedIn. And being active means making posts, making updates, also publishing, because LinkedIn has a space where you can actually publish an article. So if you do not have a blog, for example, LinkedIn is your go-to place to publish. If you have an article that is just sitting down in your draft, I think you can go and publish it on LinkedIn, especially if it's very profession related, if it's a professional article and not just a random article about Rihanna's pregnancy. So make sure you're very active on your LinkedIn because that's how you grow your network. Like, trust me, that's the only way you can grow your LinkedIn network, by being active. Also, I like to encourage people to connect with people on LinkedIn. Don't be shy. Don't just connect with people that you know. I mean, if I only connected with people that that I knew, I will not be here because it was on LinkedIn that I connected with her and she was able to give me the opportunity to speak with you. So if I limited my connection to only people that I knew from school or people that attended my university, I won't even be here today. So make sure you connect with people, grow your connection, and people will connect with you. It's not like Facebook or Instagram where you can follow somebody but the person will not follow you back. When I connect with you, it adds to both our followers. And that's the beautiful thing about LinkedIn. So don't be paranoid. Don't say, oh no, I just need to have a few people in my network. My dear, you really don't know when you will need to speak with someone. And you can only, except you're using LinkedIn Premium, you can only talk to them if you're connected with them. So this is why you need to build your network so that it's not when you now need the person, you now be trying to connect with the person. What if the person doesn't accept your connection request on time? You won't be able to talk to them. So make sure you invite connections and also accept people's connection requests. I mean, there are some spam connection requests. I there's no doubt about that. But be intentional about who you connect to. Don't just connect to random people. I mean, connect to people in industries that resonate with who you are or industries that you're interested in, and just try. Don't limit yourself. And of course, I understand that LinkedIn is so broad and you can do a lot of things on LinkedIn, but at the same time, don't go too far with it. I mean, I've seen all sorts of random interesting things on LinkedIn. I mean, try to keep it professional and make sure that people can find you on LinkedIn because I mean, just like don't use a I don't think you can even use a name that is not your name, but some people can try to use a name that is not their name on LinkedIn. Don't use a name that is not your name. Make sure you put your email address if you want to. It's not by force, but if you want to, so people can reach out to you via email. Especially if you're young and you're still trying to get opportunities. Like you can't just be on your own on LinkedIn. You have to connect with people, engage with people's posts, comment on people's posts, make posts, even if it's just once a week or once a month, it is something. And make sure that you get your LinkedIn URL and put it on your CV. You can post it on your WhatsApp group chat so that people can connect with you, or you can also post your QR code. LinkedIn has a QR code feature. That's something that can also help you. Now, how can you optimize your LinkedIn? Be authentic, like let it showcase who you are, get really personal. I mean, LinkedIn is a way to build your personal brand, and by building your personal brand, you have to be authentic about it because you cannot sustain being fake. You can't sustain it. So make sure that you have an authentic profile. Let it show your uniqueness. Let it show who you are as a person, and make sure that you are engaging with people's content. Think about what really matters to you, your vision, your purpose, your values, and your passions, and know how you can communicate that through your LinkedIn profile. And also make sure that you do your research, before you connect with people. Like if you want to reach out to someone, don't just reach out to them and just say hi. I'll talk about that later. But make sure that you have a really compelling profile such that when the person looks at your profile, they see, this person is really interesting and I want to know more about them. And that's the effect you want to have on people. So if you're an introvert, that doesn't stop you from being on LinkedIn. Make sure that you still have like a good LinkedIn profile. I mean, it's hard sometimes for some people, but try to put yourself out there, because in today's world, you know how people used to say your work will speak for itself. My dear, in today's world, you have to speak for your work, because someone else is going to take credit, or someone who is not as qualified as you will get a better opportunity than you. Also make sure you have a professional picture. Oh my god, I cannot overemphasize this. Let it depict competence, authority, likability. No selfies, no Snapchat pictures here, no filter pictures here. Go to the studio, take a really nice picture, look really good, look like a boss babe, and give them the boss babe vibe. Or if you're a guy, look like a boss man. I don't know if there's something like that. So make sure that your LinkedIn expresses who you are as a brand. Make sure that when people Google you, they can find you. You want your LinkedIn to basically represent who you are as a brand. Have a compelling profile. And this is not a one day's job. You need to keep building on your profile. You look at your headline today, you're like, oh, my headline is boring. I want to make it look better. Work on it. I mean, no one is going to stop you. It is your LinkedIn profile. Except you want to upgrade to LinkedIn Premium, you don't have to pay to use LinkedIn. It's free. Make sure that if you have a certification, let your name, like after your name, let the certification show. For example, if I have ACCA to my name, then I don't know if people add ACCA to their names, but if it's a thing, I'm not sure it's a thing, but you can write Veronica I know ACCA. Or for me, I'm a lawyer, for example, you can write Veronica I know ESQ. If you go to my LinkedIn, you won't see ESQ there, because that's not the first thing I want people to know about me. I'm not building a brand around being a lawyer. But if you're someone that is trying to build a brand around being a lawyer, then there's nothing wrong in having ESQ in front of your name. Or if you have a PhD, I mean, why won't you put that in front of your name? It doesn't have to be doctor. You can put Veronica I know PhD. That sounds really nice. Anyways, moving on. Make sure, of course, I've talked about your headline. Make sure your headline looks good. Just basically follow everything that I have told you before to have a really good LinkedIn profile. So now this is an example of a good LinkedIn profile picture for both guys and ladies. And this is an example of bad LinkedIn pictures. You see people putting selfies. I mean, why are you putting your family picture as your LinkedIn profile picture? That is so wrong. Or I mean, look at this lady, she's putting on sunglasses and that's her LinkedIn picture. Or you see people using Snapchat filters. That is so wrong. Go to the studio, pay the money, and get a professional headshot. So LinkedIn has some really interesting features that I cannot leave this place without sharing those features with you. LinkedIn has the QR code feature. This is really great because you can put it on your business card and people can just connect with you. I'll show you my own QR code at the end of this presentation, and it's easy to find. You just look at the LinkedIn on your phone. Beside the search box there, you will see QR code and you can find it on your phone, LinkedIn. And so you can just share it to people on your Instagram, your WhatsApp status, anywhere, so that they can connect with you on LinkedIn by scanning the code. You can put it on your business card. And that's so interesting because literally all they have to do is scan the code and they'll get your LinkedIn profile. How cool is that? LinkedIn also has the feature that helps you send people personalized invite. You have a limit of 300 characters to tell me why you want to connect with me. So if you really need to connect with somebody and you know like this person doesn't accept your connection request to pay you, then my dear, you need to send a personalized invite. Make sure you craft a very thoughtful message that is no more than 300 characters that conveys why the person should connect with you. This is so important. Like, it's so important because this was how I was able to get the attention of that CC's executive. I just basically mentioned the quote and introduced myself in the 300 characters because there was no time for me to start saying, oh, this is what I really want from you. So if you want to reach out to recruiters, anybody, and you really know that you need this connection request, then you need to use the personalized invite feature. Don't just click on connect, make it personalized. LinkedIn also has LinkedIn Learning. Oh my god, this is so good because you can learn a lot of things using LinkedIn Learning, just like online course platform where you can learn different things, and it's so it's really nice because you can learn so many things, and these skills, when you learn them you get certificates. That's another really interesting part of it. You get a certificate, and you can use it to update your LinkedIn profile. And some of these courses are within 3 hours, some of them 5 hours, you finish it and you'll be able to get the certificate and post it on your profile, which is really nice, especially for someone who is still trying to build a profile. Also, LinkedIn has this feature that helps you feature your post. So if, let's say, you have a really nice post and you made a post on LinkedIn, and this post is so dear to your heart and it basically showcases who you are, or it shows you in a very positive light, or it's one post that really attracted people to your page, then you should feature that post. And you can feature as many posts as possible. It's just like pinning a tweet on Twitter, or like pinning a comment on Instagram. So that's the same thing as featuring posts. So you can just watch a YouTube video to learn how to feature a post, and it really helps people to see more of that post once they look at your profile. Now to the part that is very important, and this is where we'll just wrap it up. Cold emailing. Like, what is cold emailing? Cold emailing is basically sending a message to someone who you do not know or you have never met, or basically someone sending a message to someone for the first time, and this person doesn't know who you are, you don't know who the person is, so you're just trying to shoot your shot for the first time. So it's very uncomfortable. A lot of us don't like doing it. I mean, how will I just reach out to someone that I don't know from anywhere and ask the person for a favor? It's very uncomfortable, that's the truth. But it's something that you should do. Don't shy away from cold emailing. Make sure that you take, you know, reach out to people. The worst that will happen is that the person will not answer you, fine, but make sure you actually take the step. And you might have been reaching out to people and you're not getting a positive response, and I can bet you that it's because of the way you have been reaching out to them. For example, if I see a message, if someone just enters my DM and says hi, 99% chances that I will not reply that message, because I'm like, okay, hi. So I should not be doing hi, hello, how are you with you? That I don't even know you from anywhere, even if you're my friend. Sef. I mean, you should enter my DM, say hi, and go straight to the point. So how much more a stranger now not be doing hi, how are you? How was your day? Please go straight to why you're in my DM. And I believe that you're in my DM for a professional reason, right? So reach out to people. And if you're in fact, it's because of your approach. Trust me, 80% of the times it's because of your approach. That's why they're not answering you. Maybe because you have grammatical errors, or you did not spell their name properly. I mean, if someone enters my DM and calls me Victoria instead of Veronica, I get upset, because I'm like, the name is there, like it's there. How is Victoria Veronica? Like, how? It pisses me off. Someone entered my DM one day and called me Valeria, and I'm like, I don't understand. Valeria from where? Like, how is Veronica Valeria? So please, try to make sure that you are very polite in your approach. And these are some tips that will help you with cold emailing, so that we can wrap it up here. First of all, send your cold email in the morning, and the relevant time zone here is the person's time zone, not your time zone. So if I'm mailing someone in US, for example, if I'm sending the person a message now, it's still okay, because it is, although it is in the evening in Nigeria, over there it's just like past to 1, almost 1 p.m. It's still okay to send a message by that time, but I'll advise you send the message in the morning. Don't send me a message by 11 p.m. Even my daddy should not send me a message by 11 p.m. I mean, he's my father, so he can send me a message anytime, but he shouldn't if it's not an emergency. I mean, that message can wait till morning. So how much more someone that you don't know before? Imagine someone texts me by 11, I will not reply you, except it's an emergency. I won't reply. The only person that should be texting me by that time is only my boyfriend. Like, that's the only person that allowed to text me by that time. So try to reach out in the morning. I mean, they're refreshed, they are happy, they're not stressed out, so they can even take time to reply your message. They will take time to internalize your message. Don't just say hi and leave and expect them to carry on the conversation. No, it doesn't work that way. Maybe on Facebook you can be doing that one, and I'm sure Facebook people will not even reply you. On Twitter, if you enter my DM and say hi, I will not reply you. Tell me why you're in my DM. How much more LinkedIn, that is a professional platform? So nobody will answer you if you say hi. Be specific, go straight to the point. Don't be too patronizing. I see people that enter my DM as young as I am. You see people calling me ma, this, ma, that. And I'm like, I beg, Why are you calling me mad? Do you think that is a sign of respect? I understand that in Nigeria is a sign of respect. But if you're reaching out to someone that is not in Nigerian, then they'll be very pissed by the whole ma thing. If they are a professor or a doctor, you should address them as Dr. Veronica, Dr. Adiola, not, don't just call them by their name. But if the person did not, I'm not married, you're calling me Mrs. Like, how I were you the one that married me that you're calling me Mrs. And even if I'm married, how do you know that I want to go by Mrs.? So you need to be careful with how you address people. Very important. If you're a professor, please don't make the mistake of just calling them by name, because it took them years to achieve that professorial status. And of course, keep it simple, go straight to the point. You see, I've seen people who come into my DM and say, and start blowing all the English in this one. And it pisses me off. Like, if you think you're trying to impress me by blowing grammar, in fact, you have done the exact opposite, because I'll be very pissed off. So try as much as possible not to piss people off by unnecessary grammar. Communicate concisely and don't waste your time. Also, make sure that you try to lead on a mutual ground. Are you an alumni of their school? Did you attend the same university? Did you attend a session that they hosted? Or did you attend a session where they spoke? Were they a panelist? Like this now, if you want to reach out to me on LinkedIn now, you can just say, "Hi, Veronica. I just attended the session where you spoke about leveraging LinkedIn," and I'm like, okay, I'm going to listen to you because you listened to me. So yeah, just try to find a mutual ground where you guys can kick off the conversation, just like I did in the story I told you in the beginning. I started by telling her, giving her a quote in the article that where they interviewed her, and I gave her a quote from that article that resonated with me, and I was not even trying to patronize her. I honestly, what she said in that article resonated with me as a person, and that was how I was able to start the conversation. And even if you don't have a mutual ground, that's fine. You can still send that cold email. Make a small ask before you now go for the big ask. For example, you want this person to write a recommendation for you to get a job. I don't know you from anywhere. So how am I going to recommend you? If you reach out to me and start by saying you want to have a 30 minutes conversation with me, I am more likely to say yes to that than for you to come and tell me you want me to recommend you. I don't know you. How am I sure that when I recommend you, you will not go and disgrace me? Because the company is going to be on record that I was the one that recommended you for this role. So try to ask for a very small request, like a 30 minutes catch up conversation. I think that's okay. A coffee chat is fine. It's not too much to ask for. And then from there, you can kickstart the conversation and then make them know what exactly you want. For example, you see people entering my DM and say, "I want you to be my mentor." It is weird. Like, I don't know you. Like, I've not had a conversation with you. I don't even know what your interests are. How am I going to be your mentor? Mentorship relationships don't work that way. It starts from somewhere. It's not just like, "Oh, I want to be your mentor. Okay, you're my mentee and that's it." No. So how about you ask for a brief conversation? I'm going to give you an example of a message that you can send to someone. "Hi, Adeola. It was lovely hearing from you on this session about leveraging LinkedIn. My major takeaway from this session was to put in the time and effort to make sure that my LinkedIn profile stands out. If it's fine by you, I'd like to ask you a few questions about your journey and experience towards becoming an analyst at Bank of America. Let me know if a 30-minute Zoom chat at your convenience works for you so that I can set it up and book it in your calendar. And then after that, make sure if the person says yes, then you should book the meeting. Don't wait for me to book the meeting for you because you're the one that wants to meet me. Book the meeting and make sure that you keep the conversation very interesting. Have questions prepared for the meeting. Put it in their calendar. It makes them know that okay, this person knows how to book a meeting on my calendar. Don't just be the person that will just say, I don't know how to use Zoom. My dear, if you don't know how to use Zoom, go and learn how to use Zoom. Make sure that you have good questions. Don't just ask random questions. Don't ask questions that are unrelated to what you want to know. Ask intelligent questions. Imagine someone coming to me during the conversation. They ask me, based on my research, I can see that you've had an undergraduate training in law and you're a lawyer, and now you work in the finance space. How can you, what will you say are some of the key factors that helped you in making this career decision? When I see this, I'm like, this person is serious and wants to know more about how I transitioned from law to finance. So don't just say, oh, do you like a job at Bank of America? I'll be like, yes, I like the job. So the conversation ends there. So don't ask open, closed ended questions. So make sure that you keep it short. Don't take too much of their time. Remember, they're taking out their valuable time to speak with you, so make sure you keep it short. And also, please follow up. It could be via email, and it could be via a text, or yeah, just make sure you follow up with them. If they told you, oh, I'm going to send you a document to your email that you can use to prepare for your interview, make sure you send them a document. Make sure you send them a reminder, rather, so that they can send you the document, because they might forget. And also, if they've not responded to you, you can send a follow-up email. If you send them a message and they've not responded, you can say, hi Veronica, this is a follow-up to my previous message. The person might honestly have forgotten to reply you or have not checked their messages. So don't think they hate you. Send a follow-up. It might be because the person was so swamped and forgot to reply you. The second time the person might reply, but if the person doesn't reply, my dear, move on to the next person. They are not the only person in the world, and they are, if 100 people don't reply you, if you reply, if you text 100 people and only one person replies you, I think you've achieved something. So don't get discouraged. Try to reach out to people on LinkedIn. But again, as I always say, the mode of your communication matters. Make sure that you have a lovely conversation with them. Make sure that you are very polite. Make sure that you don't come off as rude. Make sure that you're not trying to just you know try to ask for small things first. And you want me to give you a job? How do you know I have a job to give? Why not just ask about how I was able to get other opportunities? Maybe I can guide you towards getting your own job, instead of just telling me to give you a job, because I might not even have a job to give. So I've spoken for a very long time, and I've probably even gone over my own time, but I just hope that this session was very insightful in helping you um learn how to use LinkedIn and leverage LinkedIn for future opportunities. Make sure you have a good profile, like I already said, and make sure your LinkedIn shows that you're very enthusiastic. And I really, really hope that after this session you go and start posting on LinkedIn, reaching out to people on LinkedIn, connecting with people on LinkedIn, posting articles, content, creating content on LinkedIn, and keep it professional, please. All the unprofessional content can be on Instagram and Twitter, but please keep it professional. And I really hope you enjoyed this session on LinkedIn, and I hope you start taking your LinkedIn seriously.
Yes,
Thank
we
you.
did. We did enjoy your session. Thank you so much for that amazing delivery, like you over delivered.
Thank you.
They are
Thank you.
just very concise and very detailed. LinkedIn is a platform that a lot of people have been finding very challenging, because they believe that it's another word entirely different from what we normally have on Facebook, Twitter, and the rest. So this is a
Yeah.
question and answer session, and I would love that people drop their question. We'll go on a break now. Please, if you have any question for Veronica, please drop it in the comments. We'll go on a short break now. Then, when we are back, we will take the questions. Thank you. You are welcome back. And by now, I believe we should have our questions. There's no question in the comment section yet, but I'd love to read out some of the comments that we have. Messi Aderoba said, I am highly inspired and motivated. Titi Lopez said, my expectation was not cut short. I love you, Veronica. Hey. Adeleke Damola said, I so much love this session. Glee said, cold email Do not ask open-ended questions. And who else? People are dropping their a lot of emojis just to appreciate you. And I would like to
Thank
talk
you.
about this part when you said people should not go about in other people's inbox asking for recommendations. I think I made a post about this recently where I said, why will you come to my inbox and come and ask me for recommendation when I don't know you? You've not worked with me. You've not worked for me. I've not worked for you. I don't know you. You know, people do that a lot, and I find it very amazing. Like, there are some things you don't do. You don't even need to be told. If you don't know someone, you can't ask them. That is fraud. That is fraud. That is
Exactly.
misrepresentation. Because if I have to write anything about, especially in this age of internet fraud, internet scam,
Honestly.
one needs to be very, very careful. A lot of influencers has been dragged in the mud in the past 1 to 3 months because they influence for some people's for some people who are scammers. They influence
Yeah.
for them in they are doing investment. Come and put your money, it's genuine, it's real. And
Yeah.
eventually those people run away with their money, with the investors' money. And people have to keep dragging them. You recommended these people to us,
Yeah.
you influence them. So if I have to write a recommendation, my recommendation is on your profile. If anything happens, if you have any scandal or any controversy, and people start saying my name, that this person like, how will I even crack something that is not real? Like, I don't know
Exactly.
you. You have not done anything. So what
Exactly.
will I write? I will just be lying. It's lies. Please,
Exactly.
let's avoid such. Do not allow people to push you. I have a lot of messages like that. Once I see, there is a way a message will pop up on your phone without you
Yeah.
reading it. You already know what it is. Once
Yeah.
I see it
Yeah.
pop, I just ignore because I don't have time. Do not send messages like that to people to recommend you when they don't know you, and don't send such messages to people too. Then on this issue of I and hello and all that, like, I don't even know.
People do it a lot, and this is
I
2022.
don't know. There are some things that they will never teach you in school. These things are just common sense. You send a message to someone who is a busy professional, even if they are not busy. Which one is I?
Exactly.
Hello. In fact, at times I'll say, okay, let me just give you a benefit of doubt. Let me reply. Okay, and I say hi. You hear, how are you?
I know, right? That's even the worst. Like,
When you
okay,
say I am fine, they'll say eyes, work, and family. That is when I will know that you deserve to be punished. Because because
honestly,
like you said, we need to be intentional about, I don't just send random or connection invite to people. I look at their profile. I see that they have similar things in common. They are people I would like to have in my network. But at times some people just follow you randomly, and because of that they
yeah,
get access to you and they come
yeah.
to your inbox. You even see some people, good morning, please help me build my brand on LinkedIn. And you're like, what is this one? So a lot of things happens that we should try to avoid. So questions have started coming in.
Okay.
Ebola Empire said, my question is, how do I balance myself between my activity online and work, especially in a situation whereby my work schedule is time consuming or tight. So he or she wants to know how to balance life online with work offline.
Yeah, honestly, I understand your question, and it is very relatable because sometimes you can get really busy, and it's just like I can't keep up. Right? You can only do what you can do. You can't do everything. You can't see all the LinkedIn posts that were made today, and that is fine. But do the one you can do. I mean, making a post once a month is not too much, and I don't think you're too busy to make a post once in a month on your link, especially if your LinkedIn is a personal page. I mean, it's okay for you to have once in a while you post, you engage with people's posts. The same way you are busy, but somehow you still scroll through Instagram and you still somehow scroll through Twitter. That's the same way you can still somehow scroll through LinkedIn. And personally, I prioritize LinkedIn over Instagram and Twitter because that's where the important network is for me. So when I'm in a situation where I need to go off social media, I still find myself leaving LinkedIn. I leave LinkedIn because LinkedIn doesn't distract me. I mean, there's nothing distracting on LinkedIn. But Instagram and Twitter and other social media can be very distracting. So once I leave that one, When I get bored, I go there, scroll through, make posts once in a while, and just for me to engage and just for people to know that this girl is still here or she has not disappeared. So I'm sure I don't think you're too busy to make a post on LinkedIn. Another thing you can do is, okay, if you want to make this post on a weekday but you have time on Sunday but you don't want to post it on Sunday, you can craft the post on Sunday. And when it's time for you to post it, set a reminder and you just post it at the time and go about your own business. To avoid distractions, personally, I removed some notifications from my LinkedIn. So the only notification I can get is when someone sends me a message, and when someone, even connection request, I don't get the notification on my phone except I open LinkedIn. And also when even comments on my post, I don't get the notification except someone mentions my name, I get that notification. So these are ways that you can
Even
manage it.
at times, you might
Yes.
at times or LinkedIn don't even send notification for all mentions. They will still mention your name. It's later. Maybe someone now commented on that post. You now see the notification and
Yeah.
you're like, when
Yeah.
did this happen? So it
Yeah,
does
but before
happen.
it was too overwhelming for me. Like if I comment on a post, you now see, oh, someone
It's not.
commented on a post that you
Yeah.
commented on, and I didn't want to see those things, so I just changed my settings. So you can
Oh,
always customize it to what works for you.
okay. Thank you very much. We have another question here. Someone said, "How can one approach mentorship from someone on LinkedIn, knowing fully well that you are both in the same field?"
Very good. So, like I said during my presentation, you need to be authentic. And this is when you want to build a mentorship relationship, you have to be your real self. Like you need to be authentic. So if you want someone to be your mentor, then you have to have value to offer that person as well. Yes, I can be your mentor, but what can you give me in return? And that is the mistake a lot of young people make. They think, oh, it's about me, it's about what you can give to me, and they never think about what they can do for the other person. As professional as the person is, trust me, there are things that you as a young person can do to help that person, even if the person has achieved the highest professional level. For example, there was this lady, when I met her, I just thought, oh, this is someone that would be a very good person to have in my corner. But I didn't go saying, oh, because she's a top executive in a company that I want to work in, then I'll now tell her that I need an internship. No, I basically just offered value. So she had a program. I volunteered for her program. I told her that I can help organize like anything she needs, the running around, I'll help her do it. I told her that I could also help her sort some documents. So she had so many documents that were just scattered around, and I offered to help her arrange it and put them into a Google Drive. So when you approach the person, don't enter my DM and say, I want you to be my mentor, because I'm like, okay, so where do we start from? Build a genuine connection with the person. Start with a 30 minutes conversation with them. If they accept to have a conversation with you, you will know whether you guys connect. And no relationship should be forced. If this is a relationship that will work out, it will work out. So if the person is someone that you can really easily relate with, then build a relationship with the person, and then the mentorship relationship will just naturally come in. You can ask the person questions if you have questions, and the person will help you with opportunities when they find it. But if you're just there, you just enter the person's DM, be my mentor. I'm like, okay, so if I say yes, so what now happens, right? So you need to build a genuine connection and be willing to also offer value. That's the mistake a lot of people make. They just want to gain, they don't want to give anything in return. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, yes, thank you very much. Build relation the bottom line is build relationship first, connect first with people before start talking about. I like you also said, in fact, we have a lot of things in common from your delivery. I usually tell people to do not go and meet people. I have a lot of them in my come and be my mentor, come and in fact I had to do a live video, I think a 45 minutes or a 1 hour live video explaining how you can get prominent people to be your mentor step by step, step by step. But you know how people, they are very lazy, they don't even want to watch video, they just come to your inbox, boom. And a lot of people think mentorship is a parasitic relationship. Oh, since I am now your mentee, you should be the one servicing me, you should be the one helping me. Like you said, it should be a mutual thing, it should be a win-win thing. You're offering value and I'm also offering value. You see a lot of people that ordinary volunteering they cannot. We have a lot of people who joined this Global Brand Summit event to volunteer, and they are just there like a camouflage, nothing. And in the next few months, you will see them in your
Okay.
inbox asking for one thing or the other. So people are not ready to serve, they are not ready to give value, but they want other people to guide it. I have a lot of people who are my mentees now that the relationship started from day volunteering for my events. You know, with
Exactly.
in fact, when people come to my inbox now, please come and be my mentor. I just tell them straight off, my mentorship is paid. In fact, once I drop that, I don't have time for chit chat. Once I drop that, they will just disappear. My mentorship is actually paid. And my mentorship is
Exactly.
paid.
I mean,
But
your
I have
time
a
is
lot of
valuable
people.
to you.
Yes, I have a lot of people that have handed my mentorship over the years because of the kind of relationship they built with me. You know, so let it be a mutual thing. Somebody is asking a question here. Ebon Olorun is asking a question. I think the question is for me. She said, you mentioned you left Facebook for LinkedIn because of its restriction. How was this transition like? How were you able to move your audience from the former to the latter? And how did did you just go? Just let go. Okay, that will be a very long conversation. I was able to move because I have some loyal followers who were like, Minta wants to leave Facebook, we are following you. Anywhere you go, we follow you. You know, a lot of people moved with me, a lot. And it's really helped me to transition well because I had their support, you know, at that small time, I had their support and they were able to help me push my brand a bit that time. So
Yeah.
the transition was not really smooth. Like I said in the former session, I got a social media manager who helped me with managing my account for like 3 or 4 months before I now took over. You know, I had to understudy her sort of. Understudy her, look at how she was doing it. She shared some tips with me. Okay, if you want to get engagement, do this and that. So it was quite easy for me. I'm sorry we won't be able to take any question further. Thank you. I don't know about Messi is asking how to blend two different career. I think Veronica has talked about that when she said someone built a profile saying 3 in 1, meaning she does 3 things. So you just have to find a way to incorporate those 3 things. What you want to be known for. She says she's a lawyer, but she doesn't want to build a brand around law. I am also an accountant, a finance professional. I do not want to build a brand on LinkedIn around finance. So I want to build a career around branding, personal development, and all of that. So just find a way to capture all the things you want to be known for in your profile. And I think that answers your question.
Yeah.
What else?
I just want to add something to that. Also, if you're
Okay.
enthusiastic about a particular field, just put it on your LinkedIn profile. So if you are enthusiastic about finance, let it be there so that in case someone sees an opportunity in that area, they can send it to you. So make sure you let them know that you're interested in opportunities in certain areas.
Okay, put out posts, let people know. I remember
Exactly.
the interview I had in 2020 at Arise News in London. It was just a normal post. I just said, oh, I think I'm tired of local public speaking gigs. I want to start looking at international platforms. It was just a very funny and random post I just made. But I was actually, the tone, it was a bit simple but yet firm. I was able to affirm that I was assertive about the fact that I want to go international. I want to start looking at international opportunities. And therein, someone just commented on that post and said, will you mind speaking on Arise News? Mind Bao. That was how I ran to the person's
All
inbox.
right.
So we had a conversation, and it was just a perfect timing for me because it was actually a time I was planning to go to London for my graduation in University of London. So we just quickly had to fashion the whole interview towards that time, and it's really worked out so well. I went to their studio, had the interview, and it was really impressive. So that was how I just got the opportunity, just like that. And that opportunity has really opened me up to other opportunities because when I mention it or I put it in my profile or I mention it anyway, people are like, oh, this is credible. So at times, if you they usually say that a closed mouth is a closed destiny. At times, if you close your mouth and you don't tell anybody anything about what you want, what you aspire to become, what are the opportunities you're looking out for, like you said, it might just be an idea that will die in your mind. But when you open up and people can see the
Yeah.
capability to offer you the opportunity and the platform to showcase
Yeah.
whatever it is you want to do. We've gone beyond our time. Thank you, everyone. Sorry, we won't be able to take comments. I'll try to reply your comments in the comment section after this video. Thank you very much, Veronica. As much as I would have loved that you share a little bit of your experience with us as a
Oh,
British High Commissioner, we won't have time to take that. I
yeah,
would just employ a lot of people who are watching this right now to go to Veronica's page on Instagram. I think you should have the link there right now. The podcasts, there's a podcast you did for that to share that your experience. It's really, really
yeah.
educating and informative. Please, guys, go and look for that podcast and listen to it. It's not up to 1 hour, I think like 55 minutes. Try and listen to it. She shared a lot of tips. And I must say that one of the tips that you shared in that podcast that stood out for me is early application. I was so guilty of that. Like I usually apply for stuff when a day or 2 days to close.
Ah,
There's still time now. There's still time now.
that.
And since that day, I just put it at one corner of my mind that no, I will not do this again. I have to apply. And that thing was actually real, was actually very true. Because there's this opportunity I applied for around January. 2 days, let's assume that the application is going to close on 25th. Like 2 days before the closing, they were already contacting me, asking me for more information. I was like,
Exactly.
it has not even closed. That means whoever is
I
applying
have
between
I have a similar
time and the
experience.
end is on his own. Like you're on your
I
own.
had a
Pick who
similar
you want to
experience
pick.
too.
So that really stood out for me.
Yeah,
And when you talked about it, it resonated with me like, oh, I think it was after I listened to, I can't remember whether it was after or before, but I know it was around that period that I got that email telling me to send my details. And I'm like, oh, it's even 2 days to the end of the to the deadline, and they're
yeah,
already contacting me. So if there's someone still waiting
exactly,
for I still have one day. They've already picked the people they want to pick. So it's
exactly.
really, really profound. Thank you very much, Veronica. I am still going to
Thank you
engage you
too.
behind the
No
scene. We still have
problem.
something to talk about. Thank you so
No
much for doing
problem.
this with us, and I wish you a very
You
lovely
too.
weekend. My regards to
And
your
you
family,
too.
and do have a
Sure.
nice evening. Bye. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. It's been an amazing time with all of you at this Global Brand Summit 2022. It's not been easy, but we 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 got your support, we got your help, and it really went a long way in making this summit a success. Thank you all to all the volunteers. Thank you all to the team members, to the moderators, to everyone who was part of this Global Brand Summit 2022. We will see you all next year by the grace of God when we are going to be having the Global Brand Summit 2023. But before we go, let's take this short commercial.
Hello, my name is Adiola. I was on YouTube one day when I stumbled on a video titled How to Make Amala. Amala is a popular Nigerian food, and I wondered who on earth would not know how to make amala. Only for me to go to the comment section and saw a lot of people thanking the YouTuber for making that video and telling her how useful it was to them. Sometimes ago last year, I launched my WhatsApp optimization class, and a lot of people were like, what is in WhatsApp to learn again? But people who trusted my brand that I will never deliver rubbish joined the class, and they were totally blown away with the so many new things I taught them, which of course helped them grow their followership on WhatsApp and their business as well. I actually made 6 figures from that training. Imagine if I had thought everybody knows how to use WhatsApp. That is how I would have left money on the table. Introducing to you Monetize What You Know. Monetize What You Know is a 2-day webinar where I will be teaching hundreds of people how to make money from what they know. That thing you know that you think is not a big deal is actually a big deal. A lot of people are willing to pay for that knowledge only if you will package it and monetize it. The training is coming up on the 7th and on the 8th of May 2022. The training costs $100. But because of my birthday season, I have decided to give a huge discount of 90%. So it means you're going to be paying only $10 for that training, which is equivalent to 5,700 naira. So what are you waiting for? Click on the link below
and join the moving train. See you in class. Bye. So see you all in class for the Monetize What You Know webinar. Thank you all once again, and I wish you a very nice evening. See you all next year for the Global Brand Summit 2023. Thank you, and God bless you.